If you haven't guessed, we're going to be talking about lights, but not just any light. The molusx100 by Zhiyun. They did send it to me, but they didn't pay me to make this video, and I did choose to make this video because I think it's actually pretty cool and it could mean some interesting things for the future of lighting. Traditionally, lights, I mean, not even traditionally, but still now, a lot of lights are big and heavy and clunky and just a hassle to move around. Constant lights, flashes, everything like that. They're just a bit too cumbersome. The Zhiyun molusx100 is the name of this light. It's so small. It's probably, I mean, I'm not going to grab it down. I'm using it as a hair light, but here's a bit of B-roll clip that you can see where it is literally the size of your hand. It's also super lightweight. It's 385 grams, which is a lot lighter than a lot of other lights of similar power. It's a 100 watt output, which is really, really cool, especially for how small it is. To put that into perspective, this key light that I'm using behind this softbox is the Amaran 60X cob light, and that's a 65 watt light, and it's quite a big chunky piece of plastic. It's not the biggest light out there, but it's 60 watts and it's a reasonable size, but it's pretty compact. And then I saw this thing. This is at 1% currently. I'll turn it up so you can see. So this is 1%. Actually, we'll go off. So this is with the light completely off. This is with it at 1%. This is it at 50%. And this is it at 100%. Because it's a cob light as well, you can change the temperature. So you can make it warmer, you can make it cooler. This is cooler, obviously. This is warmer, obviously. And I usually like to keep it at about 55, 5600 just to sort of match my key light and not this bright. I don't need it to be that bright. 1% is enough for me. Something that I overlooked when I first got this light is the portability of being able to just slip it into your photography or videography bag to take with you to do a shoot, and it's just gonna pop out, stick it on a stand, and you can get modifiers for it too. For example, this is a little reflector dish that it comes with as a standard, but you can also get it to come with this little softbox, which I don't know why other softboxes aren't this easy to set up. It's just a little clicky, twisty pop thing, comes out, goes back in. I wish every single softbox was like that, because that is very, very handy. But if you don't really feel like using Zhiyun's modifiers on that light, you can just get their Bowens mount adapter, which converts it into a regular Bowens mount. And I've used this in studio settings, I've used it outdoors, I've used it as a key light as well, instead of this Amaran one. And it actually does a better job because it's a brighter light, it's more compact. It's got thread holes on the bottom to add it to a light stand as well, which is nice. And the Bowens mount adapter that you can get for it actually has a little hingy, bendy joint thing, just like another light stand adapter. Now, you'd also expect a light of this thin size to get really hot really quickly, but that's actually working in its favor. Because it's so thin, because of the big fan taking up most of the space, it actually stays pretty cool. They call it an intelligent cooling system, which turns on once it reaches a certain temperature. I'm not too sure how they've calculated what temperature it should turn on at, but it works really well. And they say there's a couple warning signs on the box that say that it gets hot and not to touch it. You shouldn't touch it, but I've handled it while it's on at full power and I haven't burnt myself yet. In terms of powering this light, as you might be able to see, I've got a cable precariously wrapped around a light stand up into the light, just hard line straight in. That way I don't have to worry about battery life, but it does come with a battery. It's like a little brick of a battery, which actually adds a bit of grippiness as a handle if you wanted to carry it around during video recording or something like that. And that battery has these little LED indicators that tell you the charge level, so you sort of know if it's gonna die or not gonna die and how long it's gonna last. Now, obviously, if you're using the battery grip to power this thing, it's gonna run out faster than if it's hard lined in. Well, if it's hard lined in, it's not gonna run out of power at all, but it's gonna give you about 30 minutes, which is pretty usable for a lot of applications, especially shorts filming. Now, originally I didn't want to spend too much time talking about this light because this kind of content isn't my usual type of content, but it is a very, very surprisingly good light for the size and the power that you get out of it as well. Now, I've also just found out that these lights are app controlled, so I'm for the first time ever downloading this app just to see how it works. Little disclaimer, and this is real time you're watching. This is the setup process of setting up a light. Oh, it's already done. Look at that. Ooh. Oh. That's pretty cool. I like it. Very, very handy. Oh, I didn't want to turn it off. That's the light. Now, of course, if you do want to check out these lights or any of their other lights, there's a link in the description. Just have a look. You never know, you might find something cool. I think that's all I had to say. catch you guys next time.